People of YouTube land and Google land and all the lands far beyond. David Feldman-Makrias here. And what we're talking about today is how to look at competition if you're running Performance Max campaigns inside Google Ads. And how this is going to be relevant for automotive dealers as well. So again, this application can be applied for not just automotive dealers, for also anybody selling products online, but it's specifically towards the shopping feed. And we want to look at that because, again, competition can be very competitive. There's a lot of different ad campaigns with a lot of different budget going on in Google Shopping Network. So let's take some instances and take a look at what we're doing. So first and foremost, how we used to measure smart shopping, standard shopping, and how we still measure those is really by impression share. That was our main metric to look at as far as how many impressions we're actually getting versus how many are actually in the market. And if you look in Auction Insights inside Google Ads, not for PMax, but for campaigns like standard shopping or search, you will find that it'll give you some level of granularity as far as who is actually in the auction, who is actually bidding on the same keywords, bidding on the same location, so on and so forth. So when we look at that, that's what we used to look at, search impression share, which is right here, right? And let's scroll down. I have a lot of items blurred here to keep the client confidential. But basically, we're looking at all the filtered campaigns that were PMax, or that are PMax, that recently switched from Smart Shopping to PMax. Now, you may say, David, whoa, what do you mean Smart Shopping? Smart Shopping has been around for over a year. Yes, that's true, but actually in the automotive industry, it has, okay? Smart Shopping was the standard default campaign for automotive feed campaigns, meaning if I look up new Trailblazer for sale near me, I have all of these, right? I have all of these cars. This is your product feed, but for automotive. So with these campaigns, because the automotive niche was so big, we were running Smart Shopping for a long period of time. It recently, within the last month or so, was, at least for our accounts, was switched over to PMax. So it does change things a bit, but it's important to realize the difference, and it's important to understand the competitive metrics behind it. All right, so if I go back here, I'm actually going to unblur one thing so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so I have this filter, cost is more than zero. I typically don't look at all enabled campaigns, but I am in this instance because when the great migration from Smart Shopping to Performance Max happens, the campaigns don't actually become paused. The Smart Shopping ones don't. They actually just become deleted. So I have to look, or removed. So I have to look at all, and I have to look at my cost greater than zero just to get out all the other campaigns that I want to see. And then I'm also looking up campaigns that contain VLA. And VLA is vehicle listing ads. That's the abbreviation. I think they call it just vehicle ads now, but I'm just used to VLAs. So, oh well, screw it. So when we look at this and we go through some of the metrics here, here's what's interesting. We have our columns set up in a very specific way, but let's remove that guy. Now we had our search impression share metrics, and I like looking at them because they were really relevant. We didn't have like top IS in VLAs. Notice all these little red X's. These are our Smart Shopping campaigns that were upgraded to Performance Max. That's why we have all the red X's, because they're removed. And then we have all the greens in here. There should be the same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So now you can see, okay, it's at least an even comparison. So here's the interesting part. And one thing I really liked about Smart Shopping is we could see the competitive metrics inside search impression share. I could see how much impression share each campaign was getting. I could see how much was lost to budget. I could see how much was lost to rank or bid times quality score. I could actually see absolute top impression share too, which is the #1 position. Like for this campaign, we had a 98% impression share and an almost 83% absolute top. So impression share was moved. What are we going to do? Right? Like if I go up and scroll up to PMax, I don't have any of that stuff anymore. There's nothing. What am I supposed to do? Well, I actually gave the answer already right here. I was going to show an article. What's the next best item? The next best thing that we can use to evaluate our competition? Well, when I was doing some clicking and clacking around, Google search impression share not coming to PMax. This is May 4th, 2023. So it'll not be adding search impression share reporting to Performance Max campaigns anytime soon. Jeannie Marvin confirmed. So this has been a few months. I guess I'm kind of behind, but Jeannie had to confirm the auction insights and click share reporting in PMax only include the search network. Okay. Agreed. Click share and impression share measure different things, and correct that auction insights can't be paired with performance metrics. So why the change? 2 points. PMax and smart bidding are focused on delivering marginal ROI. Rather than maximizing impressions. Turns out aggregate impression share across search and shopping isn't particularly insightful because shopping has many more impression slots. It does make sense because Performance Max includes so many more placements to serve an impression because of all the networks that's included than Smart Shopping did. Smart Shopping was really display based and shopping based. Whereas PMax is search, shopping, display, Gmail, blah, 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 all of them. So it's like, okay, what do we use to evaluate? We need something, right? So, of course, there's not auction insights, but there's actual insights when you click into each campaign, which I'm not going to get into right this second because it doesn't really hone in on competition. But what does hone in on competition is click share, at least for now. You just have to realize that where is this? Click share. Auction insight click share reporting in PMax only includes search network. So you have to understand the click share, I think, is going to be limited to each network. You're not going to get a click share for the display network or the click share for a Gmail. So you have to keep that caveat in the back of your head. But what we did is we line up all these campaigns together. We're looking at click share. And let me define what click share is. Click share is the same thing as impression share, but instead of impressions, it's clicks. It's how many clicks Google determines to be in the market for your set of keywords, for your product, for your landing page, blah, 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 blah. I don't know about the landing page. That might be a stretch. But it's how many clicks are actually in the market versus how many you captured, right? So impression share was how many impressions were in the market versus how many we showed up for. So search impression, I always described it like this. If there's 1,000 impressions for a Chevy Trailblazer, right, then if we have a 55% impression share, we had 550 impressions out of those 1,000 available impressions. So, yes. So, actually, a lot of people would disagree with me in this fundamental belief, especially in automotive, to have separate VLA campaigns for each model. But for us, it just makes sense because we can dominate that model. Plus, we can allocate specific budget to specific models. Just makes holistic sense. Fight me on that. I dare you. So I have the data to back it up too. What's up? So this is what we're doing right now. So all the remove campaigns, I'm looking at a comparison date range. Or I'm actually not. I'm looking at I guess I should evaluate how many impressions these actually got. So, I mean, they got some, but not as many impressions as our upgraded PMax campaigns because this just happened in the beginning of September, right? So that's why those show a lot less impressions. But what we're looking at right now is to kind of, because we're used to impression share, what we're doing is we're taking impression share and we're putting click share right next to it and then making some kind of correlation. Like, okay, for this model, for example, we obtained 71% impression share in the past. That translated, at least for this time frame, to about 40% click share. So then what we'll do, because we don't really have a benchmark of click share, is we'll see, okay, do we have the same click share in our new campaigns where we can't see impression share? That's how we're evaluating our competition and how we're doing against the competition. I should say it's not really an evaluation of the competition. It's evaluating the performance of us against the competition. So that is what we're doing now. So conclusion, we used to analyze our performance against competition in Google Ads shopping or smart shopping with impression share. We can no longer do that. We have to use something called click share. To understand that, I would recommend you set up your columns this way. You look at your historical data with the removed campaigns. Cost is greater than zero, so you see what you spent in the specific time frame, and then label your campaigns accordingly. And then you can make a correlation between, okay, I was getting this impression share for this time frame, well, I'm getting this click share now. So does that translate? Am I doing as well? And what's my benchmark, right? So that is the story of a lovely Google Ads campaign. And all right, I'll stop. So seriously, that's the story. We'll let you know how it goes. As far as ClickShare, you have to also realize the limitations. It's only going to report on certain networks. That article says search network. I would assume search and shopping, but I don't think it's going to have metrics on Gmail and display and discovery, which is now demand gen. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. If this helped you out at all, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.